Hi guys, welcome back. Me Swag have been working on a strong, achievable, mid-range resource group base, and this kind of ticks all the boxes. For a while I've been asked personally to do group bases. I've kept away from them for a little while, stuck with the solo bases, but I feel this is really one that me and Swag have put a lot into and we've got a lot of strength from. Now, there is some tier 2 items in here, but as it's a group you will find these. There's 3 loot rooms, this being the first. Some little respawn areas with lockers, but you can do whatever you want in these section rooms, or put your loot rooms in there if you want, but I recommend keeping the loot rooms where they are. Again, if you want to build this up even higher, you can duplicate these floors as you go on. Now, we haven't put the ladder hatch in any of these because the ladder hatch is still quite hard to find, so we've kept away from it and kept with the door jumps instead. Now you just get a quick research area here. Everyone is double doored as well. You can put double doors or you can use the garage doors. It's completely up to yourself what you do. Now going up to the next floor, you can see we utilise the space as best as possible using some of the honeycomb. Just some furnaces in here, furnaces in the next area as well. And if you look up now, you'll see we've got some hidden loot boxes that can be locked away, so if you're getting raided you can quickly throw some stuff in there, or keep some of your main loot tucked away in there as well. It can go miss depending on the route the raiders actually take. As we come outside, you can see we've done a 360 shooting floor as well. With the double doors open, you can see little peek holes looking down as well. Now, metal bars I know can still be quite tricky to find, but they can be found. The embrasures are found all the time, so it shouldn't be too much of a struggle, to be honest. You see, it gives you perfect line of sight all the way around the base, so if you are getting raided or if you're taking the heli down, it just helps so much. That's why I've put so much metal into this as well, so if you do decide to fight the heli, you've got a bit more protection from its rocketing in by using the sheet metal. Now as we go up to the roof, roof is a personal preference. I recommend putting the half walls in, so if people try to shoot down the slits for where the actual split walls are, it stops the direction where they can actually fire through and just dig down. They have to go straight down rather than diagonally. And that's about it. So we'll get into the build and I hope you enjoy. Now, as ever, we'll incorporate the starter base with this. Just simple segmented triangle base. Make sure you leave the back wall facing from your front door in wood, because you're going to have to cut through that, but if you're happy to cut through it as stone, by all means. It's only pickaxes at the end of the day. It means you're a bit more secure as well. You see, I'm just wooding all of it up just now so you can see exactly what I'm doing as I go through the whole process. Now stick your TC down, and inside you can put as many boxes as you want really. It depends how long or how big your group is you're willing to stay at this size. Now this is just an example for you of how you can just put some boxes in early game using the half wall technique. I've speeded it up just so we don't have to sit through it all, because this video is quite long considering the size of the build. Now after that's done, you want to start doing your split wall section. Now it's quite simple how to do this. I've used a different view angle as well for it, just so you can see exactly what's happening from above. Any floor tiles that you see in wood throughout the build, I'm going to leave in place. They're the gaps to jump up, just so you can always use them as a reference point. Now as we go out, you can see as you come out the front door, you're going to put your first 3 triangles and make the radioactive or biohazard symbol, if you like. That's maybe the easiest way to think of it. Or another way is just come out, do the triangles, miss a wall, do the next triangles. It's as simple as that. It's quite straightforward. It's not as tricky as it looks from the footprint picture. Now you're just going to go out 3 and simply come back in triangles and make the hexagon. So it's a duplication of your starter base really. Once you've got all 3 in place, you then want to do this triangle floor plan running along between the 2 hexagons. Now it's quite simple. You only go 1 square, 1 triangle, back in a triangle, then just run them along each other until they both meet each of the hexagons that you've already put in place. As I said, that is it for this section really. There's not much. After you've done that, make sure you take away all the placeholding foundations that you put in place, as you'll see that I do at the end. There's different ways of building this up. It just depends how much resources you've got at the time. I've done it in this way just to show you best how quickly it can be done. So when you re-reference the actual video, you can look back and see how it was done. Now, double doors are probably going to be the main or quickest way you're going to do this. Maybe even wood ones as placeholders for the time being until you manage to get the garage doors. I recommend personally using the garage doors as much as possible because they're a lot stronger. Or do a garage door, then a double door, and leave the garage doors open unless you're offline. Now, like I was saying, with your starter base, you're going to come out of the back of that starter base, so that's the wall you'll be digging away, as I mentioned earlier. You're pulling it through. To here, it's quite simple. It's just straight doors from front to back. Now in the starter base itself, once you've moved everything upstairs into your loot rooms, you're going to close that up and close the actual TC itself. Now you may want to keep using that lower level, that's up to you. I would recommend not building this like for like. Now you can see there, that is the base fully done as the first floor. I'm going to skip ahead, put all the flooring in place, which I recommend in metal, and I'll leave the gap that you can see now in wood where your jump up will be. Now you might move that, it's up to you. Obviously you want people knowing exactly where the base is going to be, where your jump spots are going to be, so I would actually recommend making sure you alter it, as I said, in any little way you can. So if someone does watch this, they're not going to have a free ride in getting into the base. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to do where all the loot rooms are, show you where they go and the purpose of the build, then again I'll skip ahead and finish a honeycomb off. I'm just cautious of time and how long it will take to actually go through this clip. Now you'll see the splits there, where they are. Where the hexagons are, we're using them as like junk rooms and beds, and we're keeping the other ones, which are internal, joined to the original base, as the loot rooms. Now you might want to change that round, but personally I would recommend you keep it the way it is because they are stronger than the ones that are detached from the actual core. Again, this is where your double doors come in, it's just extra protection. Recommend probably putting a double door and a garage door in place. You said you can leave the garage doors open when you're online and just close them when you go offline. So yeah, I'll skip ahead now. I will fully honeycomb this and I'll put the metal floors in place as well. As you can see, all metal floor now. We have the gap to jump up as well. You might want to move that around. I've staggered the jumps from each floor so it's not just an easy jump right through. Again, making them work. Now to get the lips, you're just going to take a square off exactly where I'm putting them. Again, do them in metal because people can pick up. You might want to do another floor, then put this shooting floor, just to give yourself more space. Each floor is roughly going to cost you about 18k stone, roughly, to do, or about the same in metal depending on how you do it. Then again, all you're going to do now is put windows all the way around to give you that 360 all the way around. I'm going to do all this in twig just now, then I'll upgrade it all into metal just to save time. Just bear in mind when you are doing this, you are going to be a target. Because you're in open space, you're building out. I'd maybe recommend building out from the middle. Just depends who's around about. If there's other groups of clans, then it could be sketchy, so just be careful when you're doing this element. Now, you can see these central pods that I'm doing. I'd mirror image them if you can. It's the most secure way that we found we could put them together. The doorways, you can see, they're going to be used to help you boost up to the next floor as well. See, we've given you 3 entrances out to this 360 area. You might only want 1 or 2 and just door the hell out of it. We're just showing you the option that we've used. Please change it up a little. Don't keep it exactly the same. As I said before, you don't want duplicate bases everywhere. Use this as a template for how you perceive the base ending. Now for this central pod, I recommend you building it up first before you put the roof pieces in place. It's just a lot easier to put the actual roof in place at the top. If you put the roof tiles in first, it won't let you put the triangle floor tiles above it. Now, I'm just going to use no clip to get up there, but you'll need to scaffold up the side to actually get the roof pieces in. Again, I'll leave this in twig at the moment. I'll upgrade it all after just to save a bit of time. Now, from the inside, you're just going to put your roof pieces in place from the inside. It's just a hell of a lot easier to do. And just upgrade them from the internally. Now this is going to add a lot of protection to this area. And it's going to cause people to have to use enough 4 rockets just to get through one little bit of roof. This is also going to be the area where you have your little hidden boxes. Now if you put the boxes in before you put the actual roof, you can get 2 boxes up there, or 3 boxes. If you do the roof first, you can only get 1 large box and a small box because the box actually clips into it a little bit. Now, you're just going to put 2 double doors up there. Do not use the garage doors because you can't actually close them after you've opened it, because the click position for that garage door is above the roof piece, so you won't be able to get it. Now you can see you don't have a lot of space to put the boxes in with the roof in place, so if you want 2 boxes or 3 boxes or maybe even more, if you can clip them in, put the boxes in first, then put the roof pieces in. For the time being, I'm only just going to put a large box and a small box in place just now. You can see now all the central core that we've done is now metal, and we've got the shooting floor next. Now you can see the hexagons, we have left the jump up areas. We're just going to simply put windows there. These are just secure areas to add an extra door to that section, that's all they are. You might want to build this into a little quad room we can aim out of. We've just kept it nice and simple. You want to put the half walls in place around here again, so it troubles people when they're trying to shoot down with rockets. They can't dig in from an angle for the first rocket. just again enticing them to waste resources. That's all you're doing. And this could be pure honeycomb, this section. Close it all off, make sure you get your roof pieces in as well. Close it all down. I'm using B grade, obviously you might not be able to put up to stone to metal straight away, that's fine. Just progressively build it up as and when you can. Now for this section, this is your access to the very top of the base. We're going to use simply 2 walls, somewhere you can hide behind, a bit of defence, especially if you're fighting heli, and we're going to use roof pieces. Now it's up to you how many roof pieces you put in place. I like to have 3 in place because it just gives me that extra bit of cover as I'm coming around that corner from the hexagon section as well. It will try and dig into one of the 2 sockets because it's split. If you're happy for them to be misaligned, then it's fine. It's not going to make any strong difference to what you're doing. If you shot up here as well, it means your gun isn't going to fall down the split if you hold from the back wall. Again, just with the 2 walls. You put roof pieces in place again. It can get tricky, and if you watch the way they actually do it here, it is the easiest way. Just literally look at it and walk back. You can see there it's went to a different socket. It's went to the internal. Take it off. You can do it from up here. Just look down and try and catch the socket, or just jump off and just look at it from the side. Now for the top floor, keeping it nice and simple, we're just making a little crow's nest if you like up here. You're just going to basically have your starter base. Again, this is just adding to the actual central core, so if someone's going to fire down, it's going to slow them down a little bit. That's all it is. And that is it, guys. Me and Swaggy are working on our base as we speak at the minute as well. We'll hopefully have that out soon, but it'll be in Swaggy's channel, so make sure you tune into that. A big thanks to Swaggy. We spent a lot of time last week actually looking at this. Changed it quite a few times to make sure it was something that was actually going to work on vanilla for a small group, and the resources were actually going to work as well. Just to end it, I'm going to leave you with where to put the external foundations and how to do it. Make sure they're all metal. If you want, you can build these foundations up and just go out from them again. But thanks for joining. Hope to see you again. If you liked it, please drop a like and drop a subscribe as well.